What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should have know what you should have been did. Like, comment, and subscribe. We trying to save the world. We trying to save as many people as we can. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guy. Now listen, I want to send all praises to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to say that first and foremost. I want to say shout out to everybody that's hitting that subscribe button. Shout out to everybody that's liking up the videos, commenting. I appreciate y'all, man. I see y'all, man. Don't think I don't see y'all. I see y'all, man. Shout out to a lot of my supporters out there. You know, I might give y'all a shout out real quick. Shout out to my guy Theo. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Daniel. Who else? I think his name is like Juke something. He be commenting W under the videos. Shout out to Jason. Jason, you know, he an OG. Man, it's a lot of y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. So if I miss your name, don't think I don't remember you, man. Your name is just not popping up right now, but shout out to everybody, man. As you can see by today's title, I want to make a video on should you keep female friends while you're still on semen retention. And this is something that I feel like needs to be talked about. Most guys aren't fully comfortable being themselves around certain women. Most guys aren't fully comfortable within themselves to even talk to certain women. So personally, you know, and I'm always going to tell you, do what's best for your life. I cannot tell you what to do with your life. I can only plant a seed in your mind. Because I can tell you to do something, but are you really going to follow through and do it though? You know, so whatever you choose to do for your life, that is solely up to you. I can only tell you from my experiences and my opinions. I personally feel like there's nothing wrong with having female friends while on SR, but I'm going to add a but in the equation. I don't think you should keep female friends around who you think are going to try to drain your energy or try to take your energy. I don't think you should be friends with a female who's low vibrational. She's talking about sex all the time. She's talking about who she done smashed and what she done did. Don't surround yourself with those type of women. I personally don't see anything wrong with being friends with a woman on a cordial level. Because instead of talking to guys all the time, yeah, it's cool talking to guys, you know, going back and forth with guys and stuff, but you always want a balance. You get what I'm saying? And I think that is low-key what we're kind of missing on our SR journey. This is why we have the feelings of loneliness. Because yeah, we have all the brothers in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. Make sure y'all joining it up. But yeah, we have all our brothers around us. But sometimes you kind of want a female opinion on certain things, you know? Sometimes you want to hear a female or what a female has to say. This is why the feelings of loneliness sometimes comes in. Because you're like, man, I wish I had a female I can kind of chop it up with. You know, a female who I can pick her brain. See how she views things. This is why I feel like it's nothing wrong with having a female friend while on your SR journey. But if this female is low vibrational and you feel like she has that Jezebel spirit within her, then why are you friends with her? Why are you friends with a female who's putting your SR journey at risk? Only you truly know yourself. I'm going to say this. Only you truly know who you are. Only you truly know if you have that self-control around women or not. So if you're a weak vessel still and you can't control yourself around women, then I suggest you not have any female friends at all. If you feel like whenever you're around certain women and you automatically start to think lustful, then this video is not for you. But if you're a guy who has his lust under control, you have that discipline, you have that self-control, then bro, I don't see anything wrong with having a female friend. Because at that point, at that point, you guys' relationship aren't solely based on, oh man, I'm trying to smash her. Oh man, I'm gonna be her friend until she lets me smash. Like, no. When you have your lust under control, you're no longer gonna be in that lustful mind state. When you have when you have self-control, you're gonna actually view that female, as crazy as this may sound, you might actually view that female as like one of the bros. You know, and I want to say this as well. Depending on, you know, and no guy's gonna hang around a female who he doesn't find attractive or who isn't adding any benefit to their life in some way, shape, or form. No guy's gonna want to be around a woman who isn't benefiting them in a sense, you know, and it goes both ways. So I'm gonna say this: being around a female, disclaimer, being around a female as a friend, things can slowly start to shift. Feelings might get involved. She might start liking you. You might start liking her. That energy that's radiating off of us, it might hit her. It might put her in a trance. You know, certain females, they're gonna always expose themselves. They're gonna always expose their feelings for you. You know, in due time, it might not be right then and there, but in due time, certain females always expose how they truly feel about you. And that's the disclaimer I want to say. You know, so don't get female friends if you know that you don't have any self-discipline. Because I'm telling you, especially if you're on SR and you're always around a female, bro, I promise you, you're going to be thinking lustful thoughts. Especially if she a quote-unquote baddie, you're going to be thinking lustful, like, man, I'm with this whole female right now. You know what I could be doing with this female right now? That's what is going to be going through the mind of someone who doesn't have that self-control. But look, if you're a guy who has his lust under control, you're not solely talking to this female for the sex, trying to get in her pants. She might develop feelings for you because, like I always say, women are not being exposed to real men nowadays. Women are not being exposed to men like us. The 1%ers, women are not coming across us on a daily basis. They're dealing with the simps, the guys who don't know how to make eye contact, the guys who don't know how to hold a conversation, the guys who don't know how to make them laugh. You know, the guys who are just down bad, those are the guys that they're coming across. So when they're around a man like us, who are retaining our seed on our self-improvement journey, drawing more closer to the Most High, when they come across us, bro, they're most likely not 10 times out of 10 gonna catch feelings for you. So I want to say, if you're not ready for what might take place if you are friends with a female, because I don't care what nobody says. y'all could debate me all y'all want in the comment section, but I don't care what nobody says. If a female is watching this, a guy and a female can't just be friends. I don't believe in a guy and a woman just being friends. The only way a guy and a female can be friends is if they don't find each other attractive. That is the only way. And even then, most times, two people who don't find each other attractive over time, as they keep spending time together, those are always the same people who end up being together. So even then, but I don't believe that a woman and a man can just solely be friends. I don't believe in that. It's always going to be strings attached. It's always going to be something that comes along. The more and more you guys spend with each other, there's going to be feelings attached. Like, bro, that's a whole female. That's a whole woman next to you. And in her mind, that's a whole man next to you. Unless you're a part of the LG, y'all know what else I'm finna say. You know, they get along well. Those are the only two men and women that can get along. If you're a part of the LG, you know what I'm saying? But I personally don't believe a man and a woman can just strictly be friends. Like, that always just sounded like cap to me, yo. That always just sounded like cap. Cappity cap. That always sounded like cap. So I'm going to repeat it again, man. If you don't have your self-control, if you don't have your lust under control, you do not need to be having no female friends. Now, if you're a guy who feel like you have some self-control, you have some discipline, you probably could see yourself in the near future being with a female as long as she's on the right path, as long as she's putting you on to things, as long as she's adding to your life as a friend in the beginning phases. If you could potentially, if you have it in your heart that, okay, potentially me and this female can get somewhere, if you feel like that's what it is, if you feel like this female, me and her can actually help each other, then I don't see anything wrong with being friends with a female. But don't base it strictly on sex. This is why I say you have to get your mind out of that lustful phase, out of that lustful stage. Because I'm telling you, man, once you see a female's arm, you're gonna be thinking like, man, like, you're gonna be tempted. Most guys who don't have their lust under control, bro, they could see a woman's hand and be turned on. Like, bro, it gets that deep. So coming from me, I don't see anything wrong with having a female friend while on semen retention, as long as she's not tempting you to end your celibacy. As long if she's rooting for you, if she herself is celibate, bro, that's a plus. That is a plus. Let me find a female friend who is celibate, who has God in her life. Let me find a female like that. Oh, maybe just then we could be friends. But like I said, over time, the more you and this female is building and connecting, feelings are always gonna get involved, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I don't care if you think that a man and a woman can just be friends. That is false. That is false, man. So let me know what you guys think about this topic down below in the comment section. Like the video if you learned anything valuable or new. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. Share this video with a friend. Look, I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out.